Hi, I'm Tina Litster at Circe Creek Boutique. Our mission is to empower you to courageously create. We created these kits for you to eliminate the guesswork and to give you the tools, the knowledge, and the courage to create your own work of art. Today we're going to make this beautiful wreath with gold and green magnolia leaves, cream hydrangeas, these maroon berry picks, these maroon or burgundy flowers, these green heather picks, and a gold bow. In this wreath, the part of the wreath that is exposed is this part from about 1 o'clock to about 6 o'clock. So you need to choose the part of your wreath that is the nicest and roundest and prettiest. This wreath, oh, it's got some strange hay stuff in it. This wreath is pretty warped. It's quite an oval shaped or an egg shaped. So I'm going to have to compensate for that shape by the way I put the elements on it. But you will be able to see how to compensate for perhaps a misshapen wreath as we do this video. So I'm going to have this part exposed. I really like how the vines look here. It's nice and round. Starting about here, up here it's pretty egg-shaped, but starting here it's nice and round, and I think I can work with it. The first thing that we do is to put on the magnolia leaves that have some green and some gold. And basically you're just going to put them beginning with the top leaf at about the 1 o'clock position. And so we put them in place. Now to compensate for this shape, what we need to do is to bring the top down a little bit and the sides out a little bit. So this side will go out a little further than the wreath. The top will come down a little further than the wreath. And that will make it so we don't see how misshapen the wreath is. If your magnolia leaves are turned funny, just turn them around. I actually want this one at the top up here. I think that works better with the shape. And these down here. So I'm going to do those crisscrossing there, and this one right about there. Okay. So I insert these, and remember these leaves are going to have to go a little bit out to this side to compensate for how squished the wreath is. I'm going to remove that, stick that in, and then replace it there. And then the bottom actually needs to come up just a little ways as well. So, so see how it'll look thicker at the bottom, but if we move everything out toward the side and bring this in, it will be just fine. I like how those are. So we need to secure those, and the way we do that is, oh, I didn't actually stick that into a stem. Where the stem of the leaves inserts into the wreath, you pool some glue around the base of it and then stick it a little further in. Now this wreath, or this leaf came off of that stem part. So I'm going to reinsert it, and I'm going to use a little bit more glue right there just to hold it fast. Right there. Okay. Now this one, pull it out a little, glue down at the base. Excellent. This one, again, pull it out, glue down at the base and reinsert it, and this, pull it out, glue down at the base, reinsert it. I missed a leaf somewhere, so I am actually going to put it in, where do I want it? I'm going to save this till the end and see where I might want to fill in with it. The next thing that we add is the bow, actually. And the bow goes right at the front of these hydrangea leaves. It's actually the front element except a few little green heather pieces. And so it goes right in there. Put the bow in, you separate the wires right there. Bend one of them around a little bit so that it's easier to go through the wires. And then insert one end into a few of the twigs of the wreath. Then twist it around. You'll want pliers for this probably. The wires are rather stiff, and so with your pliers, twist it around until it's nice and secure. And then bend the wires back into the wreath. So that it will go right there. I almost never start a wreath with the bow, but this time I'm going to. And then we're going to start with a few of the heather picks. This one that has the 3 at the top, we're going to put right in there, and it's just going to go right there. So we're going to put that in. Okay, we choose these 3, and they're going to extend in a group like this and be poked in right at the left side of the bow so that they cascade down on the other side of the bow right there. Okay, so that's where those need to go. One at the top of the bow right here and one right down here. So glue these in place, retract them a bit, put some glue at the base of them, and then stuff them in. Again, retract it a bit, put glue in at the base, and stuff them into their place so that they're secure. Okay, now that is the top of the wreath. Now we build hydrangeas and the red flowers around here. You have large and small hydrangea bunches. So we want to choose the largest ones and put those right at the top. So the top is really our focal point. We want to build everything from the top down. So did you see how I stuck it in and then I kind of pulled it back so that it was in the right place? And then this one can go right in here next to it. Okay, now see how we're already starting to round out the shape a little bit with the bow and the hydrangea leaves, and you don't even notice that it was warped up at the top. These others just fill in bare spots in the wreath going down. And then another down here. Okay, now did you notice? See, I curved these around so that they round out the shape on the left side really nicely. The next, we glue these in place. Now these are going to be easier to glue in if we pull them out and actually replace them into the twigs of the wreath. So get glue around the base of it and reinsert them. I have a glue pot that I use. I like to put glue in this, or to let hot glue melt in this, and then I can insert a stem in there. You probably will only have a glue gun, but just put glue at the end of the stem and then insert the stem. Make sure it makes good contact with the wreath so that it's secure. when you pull these out, try not to pull on the flowers because you can just strip the flowers right off those little stems. They come off quite easily. So try to pull it from the stem instead of the flower. Okay, I like that. Now we add in the burgundy flowers, and basically you want one at the top in between these two big cream colored hydrangeas. There. One underneath this, between these, the next two hydrangeas. And again, we're rounding out this side. One below them. Actually, I have the hydrangeas a little too low, don't I? So I pulled that one out and I'm going to replace it right in here. And one, I want to replace both of these. I had to pull pretty hard on those because of the glue that I had to rip out of its spot. Okay, and then one burgundy flower just to end this off with. Now we're going to put in these berry picks. The berry picks just go where you need a little extra pop of color. So I want one right down here. I want one in here. And I want to end it with that down here. I like that. Oh, I want it underneath. There we go. Okay. I like that. Now I forgot to re-glue these two in. So we're going to do that and then glue the red flowers in. And now the burgundy flowers. Okay, and now the berry picks. We haven't glued any of those elements in, so now we need to glue those in. And this gold leaf, I want to put it right. I want it on the outside to make this round shape. On the inside, you see it draws the eye in there, so I want it out here. So basically we just need to add a bunch of glue to it right there and tuck it in to the vine as well as I can back in there. Okay. The last thing right now is just adding a few more of these heather picks. I add these just to give a little more variation in different places, and I think I want one right there. Okay, now where these two last berry picks don't have a stem to them really, you just glue them on straight onto other elements. This time I'm gluing them straight onto these hydrangea leaves. And then hold them down in place. Try not to burn yourself. Okay, I like that. You can rearrange things as you feel like you need to, just to fill in spaces or to round out the shape. But I feel like that really compensated for the squash shape, and now I don't see it at all. So the last thing to do now is to put a wire hanger on, Now, the bow is right at the 12 o'clock position, so I'm going to grab up here on top of the bow and flip the wreath upside down. Insert my wire. It crosses right here, so that's how I know it's at the right place. I want to bend my wire a little bit up at the ends, just because it makes it easier to pull it out of the wreath at the bottom if it's bent up a little bit. So about halfway through the wreath, right in here, I insert my wire, and you have to insert it upside down, and then you twist it up because now your wire is bent. That may have looked a little bit backward, but that's the way you do it. So you put it in, and after about an inch or so, you want your wires to come back out. Now, if you have to go digging for them down inside the vine or inside the wreath, do that. But mine came up nicely this time. So then poke, you'll have to pull on the ends. Poke it down until your wire hanger is just about even with the wreath. It makes it so that the nail or the screw or whatever you're hanging it on isn't going to show. And then bend these ends up so that you have a funny looking W. Okay, so you have the two ends and then this loop in the middle there. Then, one end at a time, you bend it up around the top loop. And you see how it's bent in, and then you grab the inside of it and you twist it down toward your vine so that it's twisted down in, it won't poke or jab anybody or mess up your door. Then this same thing on the other side, wrap it around behind the loop and then twist it into the twigs of the wreath. I don't like the way that did it. So twist it so that it pokes right down into the twigs of the wreath. Boy, this one's having trouble. Okay, so that's poked down in. So now you see you have a nice sturdy loop right here to hang it from, and these others secure it really well. Now this is almost impossible to do with your fingers. My fingers aren't tough enough anyway. Okay, when you turn it over, you may have to fluff some things and get some glitter or some, wreath litter off of it. But your wreath is done and it looks beautiful. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed making this wreath with me. Remember to like the video and subscribe to my channel below. And for more creative surprises, visit my website and my Etsy shop at the addresses shown. See you next time.